All right, can we all please give a warm welcome for our next panelists? We have here Ryota Kanai of Araya, Gimmy Chang of FAB DAO, and Cui Jia Wei of vTaiwan, and they'll be discussing today key for a better artificial system from governance to AI. Let's please give a warm welcome.
OK、皆さん、ここ。
日本語
私は今、台湾大学大学院生、法律学科大学院生3年生です。今、すごく嬉しいこのイベントを参加した。私は、じゃあ自己紹介終わった。だから英語で発表した。私は全員英語で発表したできる。
英語で。
OK。
いいよ。
じゃあ全員が英語で発表した。So I will please turn to my slides. Thanks. Okay. So I will in this panel, I will use a very brief time to talk about our project, especially our projects happening last year. We received the OpenAI grant, and then we will move on to the discussions about how to form a better artificial systems. These artificial systems is not only talking about AI, 人工智慧, but also talks about the source key, talk about organization, talk about how can we form a new types of organization like 会社, like 学校, like safe, these kind of things. So, okay, let's move on. So, first of all, before we move on to the introduction, we need to talk about how does vTaiwan. So vTaiwan has three features. First of all, it is human-centric public participation mechanism, which means that we use the digital tools, but also we focus on people. We use digital tools to bridge different peoples together. And the second thing is that we are an open, transparent community-based approach, which means that we are actually, you can find our records on our websites, and also on our co-editing notes. Everything of vTaiwan are all on that note. And finally, we have potentials to integrate innovative tools. How can we have these kind of potentials to integrate these kind of innovative tools is that we have 4 stages, which means that we don't stick to one tools, but we choose the tools that is appropriate for our discussion. So in our first stage, it will be the proposal stages, which means that the civil society or the government can bring the issues to our vTaiwan community, and we will help them clarifying the key questions and do the stakeholder exploration. And in the second stages, we will collect opinions from the stakeholders, and we'll do the online deliberation. And third stages, we will do the face-to-face deliberations, which will be hybrid mode in live streaming and face-to-face dialogue. And finally, it can be the realization, which means that we can finalize the consensus and do the legislation process. So by using these procedures, we are able to win the OpenAI grants out of 800 different teams in the world, and we also cooperate with a very well-known think tank in United Kingdom, which is Chatham House. So with the foundings, we are able to hold these kind of democratic input AI civil assembly. So you can see that it is actually a lot of people out there. We have successfully accumulate people with different backgrounds together, with reporters, with lawyers, with computer engineers, with people from indigenous people, with people from gender group, with people from working in the technology companies. We also even have the legislator, which is this one. So we have legislators in our discussions, which means that we are able to provide their viewpoints toward the government members. And this is our final report. So this final report is contributed by a lot of people. So if you want to see the final report, you can always scan the QR code here to get access to the final report. In this final report, we find out that it is actually we are able to form these kind of consensus on AI using these kind of civic participation tools, and using these kind of civic participation tools to have a better alignment on AI. And also, we are also using the AI tools, such as in the cover of these reports, you can see this is Talk to the City, and AI integrated tools to cluster public opinions into different groups. So this is how AI and civic participation can interact with each other. The civic participation can strengthen AI and do a better alignment, but the AI can also provide a better way to do civic participation. So basically, what we found is, first of all, during these kind of discussions, usually there's a paradox between proficiency and plurality. If you want to balance the plurality of opinion and the proficiency, you need to design the process in a very cautious way and understand what is going on and potentially to happen. And also, you need to focus on the people or tech, which means that besides developing the new tools, how to revitalize the own and existing tools is very important to increase the participation, especially for those people with digital gaps. And finally, we need to be aware and be cautious about the huge company or the governments are still having these kind of absolute power. The tech companies and government agencies still hold the power. The tech companies controls the platforms, controls the technology, and the government agencies controls the public power. So how do we, as a civil society member, as an organization, as a FAB DAO, as a DAO organization, can win or can leverage our power, leverage our resources on these kind of relationship is also very important. And that is also what we are going to talk about it in our panel. So basically, sorry, this is old one, so I didn't fix the mistake here. So new technology is not only challenges, but also this is the chain to create new spaces for common goods. And the vTaiwan example can be proved as an example for providing the new technology a way to do the common goods, or also conveying or maybe using the vTaiwan mechanisms to transmitting these kind of common goods into the new technology. So I'm also very curious about what is something happening in Japan, and that's welcome Kanai-san for to introduce how it is happening in Japan, and also about his organization on AI alignment.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, thank you. Yeah, so in my day job, I run an AI startup called Araya, and so in that company, we generally provide AI solutions. So in that sense, like we have like very close contact to the actual society in terms of what AI can do. But recently, we started a separate organization called AI Alignment Network. And the focus is to sort of promote like research and conversation about AI alignment. I don't know if you are familiar with this topic, but there are like many aspects in this. But the idea is we want to make sure AI will do what we want them to do. So we tend to think like AIs might be just computer programs, but now, as they become more and more complex, it's difficult to make sure that their behavior will be aligned with human values. So that's the kind of general topic. But then there are like a lot of political issues around it. But the thing is, when we think about aligning AI and technology with human values, we have to think about what our human values really are, because probably everyone has like different ideas and different priorities about ethics and so on, but actually people are very diverse, and people work in different areas and have different opinions, and so that's where maybe we need some sort of like also like technology assisted mechanism to sort of gather opinions from like a lot of people, and then sort of include their values when we deploy AI. So in a way, people started worrying about AI alignment because right now the development of AI is very, very fast, and so it's getting hard to keep up with everything going on. But initially, the main theme was how to sort of set the goal for AI. So, in a way, it's difficult, right? So, like, even when we try to incentivize like employees or citizens, it's very difficult to design a perfect goal for everyone. Usually, like when you set a certain goal, there's always some sort of like the game-ability. So you can, maximize, your reward, if it's actually defined. But but AI can like really sort of find some sort of gaps where people didn't think about before. So yeah, so that's the kind of concern, right? So like we initially think, okay, so maybe this is not just about AI, but whenever we try to sort of implement some mechanism in the society, people find some sort of gaps, like and then that can create all kind of like fraudulent activities as well. So in that way, like this is a kind of not just about AI, but then this issue is enhanced when we think about AI, because AI can be much faster. So if it's about human activity, we can sort of change the rules if something goes wrong. But if they act like 100 times faster or 10,000 times faster, then we will be always too late to sort of stop problematic behavior. So that's the kind of general topic. But yeah, sorry, I maybe getting long. Yeah, but yeah, so the reason why we started this AI alignment network was that like this issue was not well recognized within Japan. I think it was mainly discussed in the Bay Area and in places in some places in the UK like Oxford and London. So in a way, like people from the outside thought, it's Japanese people should be more aware of this kind of issue and should be more involved in research on this topic. So actually, like overall, this is like more like social design kind of issue, but there are also like many technical issues. So like when you design kind of reinforcement learning agent, there are so we have to find ways to avoid some sort of cheating by AI. So that's more technical issue. Also, like we need to understand the actual internal mechanisms inside neural networks, because now we have like so many parameters and we don't know what's happening. And so in that sense, there are like technical issues which require the involvement of AI developers and researchers, but also we need to have more conversation about how we make AI beneficial for the society. So those are the main issues. And so within this AI alignment network, we like really try to sort of promote like this kind of research and discussion. And so in a way, like it doesn't have to be just limited to Japan. And it'd be like great to have also network with Taiwan, and especially I also find that like a lot of conflict between the Western culture and East Asian culture. But that part is not very clearly articulated. So that's something we should also have a conversation like across different countries within Asia as well.
Yes, totally agree.
Yeah.
So I think we can actually move on to talk about how to make people communicate and making discussions on these kind of new technology. And I think Jimmy from FAB DAO can actually provide their viewpoint and their experience in Taiwan about how to make discussions like this and how to formulate different people from different backgrounds together on the DAO, and also doing their projects freely, and also working on and dealing with the issues happening on the, and also concerning this emerging technology.
Hi everyone. I actually want to echo to Ryota.
Ryota, yeah.
Ryota sounds like idea first. I think there's topic called singularity, and it's talking about the technology growth is in the exponential way, while our human brain is go to the linear way. So in the coming future, and the AGI should surpass their capability of the AGI should surprise the human brain, and this magic in his prediction is in 2045, I believe. He have 3 books to talking about that, And I think it's quite interesting because in the general like a AI or like a model, if you guys are familiar with like the AI or machine learning, then you need to set up an objective function. And the whole like training process is like putting optimized like pressure to that objective function. And so that will become really, really important how we set up the objective function in the first place. And that will be the main topic today about like what is like AI alignment, aligned to whom, aligned to what like objective function, who set up the function, who can represent the human being. And yeah, so that's the part I want to like echo to Ryota-san. And yeah, from our point of view, we are more into I think many people already familiar with the idea of called DACC, because, yeah, Vitalik write an article to try to advocate this idea so it become popular in the crypto space. And you can see many people like in their Twitter handler, they add like a DACC right after their handler, you know, like as the suffix. But yeah, change like one's handler or name is really easy, but what does it even mean about like a DACC, and what is D for? Like we have different like understanding, right? No matter it's democracy, it's about decentralized, it's about deficient, or blah blah blah. You can interpret any way as you like. It's the same idea of like a pluralism. Yeah. But for the AI like specific topic, yeah. By the way, so the really short introduction of DACC is the idea of the book called Power and Progress. And so the one who have the power will usually have the better technology, and when someone have better technology, they can have the better power to control like everything, and it's the positive like cycle. And how can we break this like a cycle, break this like a centralization? And the idea is to create, instead of like linear acceleration, we need to have the angular acceleration and put this technology and power into the more like individual, the non-power people, non-power like individual. Then we can have the abundant society, and that's the idea of like a DACC. But back to the AI, the thesis I buy in recently is about we do not need the singular architecture of AI. We can treat the whole like internet or like as a data available layer, a DA layer, or the data, and we can have the multiple like AI agent upon it. And it's not only the huge, like a large model, language model. We can have the small, like RAG enable, like a small expert model. And those models should be the public good, and those models can talk to each other and represent the different ideology behind. And yeah, I think that's our takeaway about this.
Yeah. I'm just wondering, in the book of the Power and the Progress, mentioned about AI have a huge power. Also, it's required to a huge money to making the powerful AI. So that's the reason why current situation is only the big tech people could be making the AI. So I'm just wondering, what do you guys think about how to regulate the AI from the different layer? Maybe some of the people could be mentioned from the digital development tool like vTaiwan, or something like AI alignment as an organization or alliance kind of. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so maybe like I'm also a little bit triggered by Jimmy's comment as well. Yeah, I think like when people talk about like AI alignment or AI safety, I feel like there's some sort of like a hidden sort of motivation, which is about the concern of monopoly and centralization. So people sometimes worry about existential risk caused by very powerful AI, but actual concern, like psychological concern, is that like really powerful things are owned by a few corporates, or maybe just by a couple of governments. So that's the real concern. And so in that sense, people talk about sort of making like big AI models publicly available. So that might be good for kind of more inclusive approach, but the thing is, but at the same time, it's a very powerful technology. So that also causes a concern. So it seems like there's a kind of like a strong conflict between people who are more conservative about how we should handle AI, and for other people, actually they seem to be I'm talking about EAC kind of approach, where people are like really like pushing technological advancement, but that seems to be partially motivated by current geopolitical conflict, because if you don't build better AI or better technology, someone else will do it and dominate you. So I think there's kind of tension between these two approaches, and then I think in that sense the ACC finds it like really the important common ground, and so I think because it addresses the concerns about democracy in technological development, because the future of humanity shouldn't depend on just a handful of people, but we want we want to involve everyone, right?
I become like a P2P ACC recently. I forget about like a DACC.
From a point of view, I want to following what Kanai-san has just said. So yes, first of all, we should not let the power to be consolidated on some single players, such as the big companies or the government. So that is also, and if you notice that yesterday, the Meta, which is the company of Facebook, just released a news release saying that they will keep their AI models open sourced, and they like the very famous scientist in Meta, Yang Chen, just say that they think that open source is the only way to building the AI systems. So it is actually contrary to what OpenAI has approach is. So what OpenAI approach is, they want to mitigate the risk of AI by strengthen the AI systems by themselves. They think that it is a way to mitigate the risk. But for Meta, it is actually another way. They think that they will release all the results open to the public, to become the public goods, become the commons, so that we can accumulate everybody's effort together to dealing with these kind of risks. So there's two different kinds of approach. From my point of view, as a vTaiwan participant, we think that open source is actually very important, not only because vTaiwan is an open source community, but also as the collections of our opinions from last year's projects. The most consensus opinion coming from Taiwanese people is that the AI systems, the information need to be released. The AI systems information needs to be released to the public and open source. So that is also the consensus of people in Taiwan. And that comes to another question, is that how to regulate it, how to use the law enforcement to do that. Like, right now in European Union, they have what we call the Digital Marketing Act. There will be a little bit low stuff because I'm a law student, sorry for that. So the Digital Marketing Act, the critical thing is that they do not want the power to be controlling by a single or several companies. They want these companies to open up their applications, open up their ecosystems, open up their developments to everybody, and making interoperabilities, making other small players to come in to the game, and making the games have more players, which means that we can decentralize the risk. We can decentralize these kind of systems instead of being controlled by a single player in the game. So this is also another key for a better artificial intelligence, which means that we need to have different players in the game to compete with each other with different viewpoints. Like what we have in vTaiwan is that we try to bridge and connect each stakeholders together, different stakeholders together to do these kind of things. Or like maybe FAB DAO is also having people from different backgrounds together and discussing how to achieve a better world, how to achieve a better organization, new types of organizations to help people. And also from Kanai-san, like that, Kanai-san is building up the community in Japan as Kanai-san said, the Eastern values and Western values are totally different. And I really experienced that when I was in OpenAI's headquarters last year, talking with OpenAI engineers. They thinking that the technology is the best. They thinking that technology is the most important part. But however, in some Asian project, we think that humans should be the core of the technology. Yes.
I have a last question for you guys. So actually, I'm using OpenAI every day, like a ChatGPT.
Same.
So same, you guys same. So actually, how can I contribute, like anti-centralized company or something like that? So actual activity, what can I do? I think like if you have any.
But do you pay to OpenAI?
Yeah.
But you can use it for free. Yeah, and actually, like if you use their service more, like they have to spend more money for the users. So, but I don't know. Yeah, but when I don't know. That's the thing. It's very difficult to avoid. Like their model is good and their service is very useful. So there's like a really natural. Sort of economic incentive. But maybe I don't know if we can like really decentralize like this kind of trend easily. But I think like traditional government could play a role. So for example, just implementing some sort of auditing system would be also useful because like in a way like it's indirect, but the government. Reflects like people's opinions, but in a very indirect manner. So their actions should be in the sort of benefit of the citizens. So in that sense, we can still use the mechanisms of the current governments. But I think to do that, I think we need to do also some sort of lobbying and inform policymakers and so on. But I think that's probably in practice a very effective way to approach this.
My one's really short. My approach is like share my account credential, like account name and password with several of my friends. So many people can use one account. So the OpenAI the revenue will like reduce, and they don't know like who is like the individual behind this account. That's my approach.
I want to share one approach. So Kanai-san talk about the big things. We need to do the policy lobbying to the governments to making the AI power decentralized and forcing these companies to open up their projects and also open up their contributions. But I want to talk about one small thing is that AI needs what AI needs. So AI needs data, and the data is high quality data. So right now, OpenAI's approach is that they are using outsourcing these kind of data selection or data purification to the other companies, mainly in India. So a lot of news is that the Indian people are actually doing these kind of works for OpenAI and making a lot of profit like that, but not really because this is not sustainable. Overall, after all, the AI will substitute these kind of jobs and making the data generating by themselves. So one thing is that we need to have our own data. But how can we generate these kind of data? Actually, it is not that kind of difficult. For example, right now I'm doing a project in the Fair Trade Commission in Taiwan, and this is my job. So when I was doing these kind of jobs, I'm actually using OpenAI to summarize the documents and also doing translation. But however, you know that the OpenAI's Chinese version is not really quite well. It actually containing a lot of wordings that is inappropriate in Taiwan's context, which means that they were containing the China context. And I also know that maybe in Japan, the OpenAI also and ChatGPT also have these kind of questions. So when you are doing corrections for the AI-generated results, you can actually record down the glossary of your correction, like what is AI's wrong on the world of translation, and what is the correct one. You can create these kind of glossary by yourself, and these glossary will be very sector specific for your needs or for your job or for your training. And also, you can develop your own AI systems using these kind of ways in the future. So making your own data and try to think about what is the data that you control and it's very unique, then that is the way to leverage your own advantage and your own feature to these AI systems and achieve the goal of decentralizing these kind of systems, originally centralized. Thank you.
Yeah, perfect. Just 1 minute. So if you have any want to say something.
Okay, I think the technology like Peter mentioned is called RAG, retrieval like argument generation. Is kind of really popular in recent like implementation, and the core of the like AI agent would be like a data, algor, and the computing power. And I think many like crypto company are trying to make those three like dimension as decentralized as possible. I think you can check like Bittention and IO next and chain base. Yeah, I think they're trying to make those three dimension as decentralized as possible. Yep. That's it.
Interesting. This is all. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Up for our panelists.